Minister Whiteside is quoted as saying, "Our government is working urgently to build an integrated and seamless system of mental health and addictions care that works for all British Columbians, including new treatment and recovery options and early intervention and prevention measures. We know there is more to do, and we won't stop working until we end the crisis," end quote. And seemingly, the decriminalization is not having the intended effect, as outlined at the beginning of the year by the provincial health officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry, saying, quote, "The decriminalization of people who are in possession of drugs for personal use is one additional important step to save lives as we continue to tackle the toxic drug crisis in BC," end quote. In June of this year alone, 184 more people lost their lives to the war on toxic drugs. Earlier this year, one media outlet reported Terrace as placing third highest in the province for rates of toxic drug deaths in the company of Vancouver and Merritt. Peace River South MLA Mike Bernier, visiting Terrace, knows it's not just a Northwest problem.
We're trying to figure out as well, how do we work together to try to bring those supports? Because I know whether it's here in Terrace or anywhere across the north, the impacts to our communities are the same, and the supports aren't there. And anybody who wants help, and when it's not there, it's devastating. And I know most people I've met with when we talk on this topic too, we want to help these people. We want them off the streets. We want them to have the detox centers if that's what they want, and we can get them in. But it's not there.
Part of the struggle of the North is detox centers or lack thereof, something Ellis Ross is getting frustrated with.
We've been talking for the last year about a detox facility being proposed in Terrace by a group of First Nation leaders who want the government to live up to their commitment to work with First Nations in addressing the overdose crisis here in BC.
According to a report from Victoria, Indigenous people made up 16.4% of the 2,314 toxic drug deaths in BC last year, despite only representing 3.3% of the province's total population. With the facts now known, there is but one question, and according to Ellis, it's why.
Mayor supported it, all the leaders support it, First Nation leaders support it, everybody supports it. The only people that don't support it is the BC government. And we're just scratching our heads. Why? Why do they not support it? It's needed. And in fact, their own speech in the legislature talked about the overdose crisis in BC and partnering with First Nations. And here we have an excellent example of a First Nation trying to provide a solution, but they're getting ignored. And we want to change that.
For more information on drug safety, you can always visit the website at www.wellbeing.gov.bc.ca.